Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I will be doing like a little review on aespa's new single, Better Things. And I just want to say I'm like several days late on this because one, I've been busy, but two, I felt I personally needed like a few days to collect my thoughts on the song. I feel like a lot of people make their videos like the day a song comes out or like the next day, and I could probably do that like with some songs. I did that with Cake by ITZY, but I needed multiple days to just think about this song, and yeah. For me, Better Things was not a love on first listen, and it's unfortunate because aespa is one of my favorite groups. I am a Mai, and aespa is actually the first K-pop group I ever stand, so they're very special to me for that reason. I never envisioned myself being a K-pop stan. I always had like the toxic view of K-pop stans. Like I thought everyone who was a K-pop stan was a bad person. It was very toxic, so I never wanted to be a part of that. So aespa really changed me because they were a group I thought was worth standing, and from then on I went on to stan other groups. So for me, like, I thought it was just a little disappointing that there's a song that I really felt mixed on, because I don't think I ever really felt that way with other aespa songs. Not every aespa song was like a love on first listen, but it wasn't something where I was like, I don't know, it would be like I listened to it the second time, I'm like, okay, I like this. But this song, I needed to think, I needed several listens before I could say definitively like how I felt on it. Other people feel differently, of course. There are people who are like, if I don't like a song on the first listen, I don't like the song, I'm not gonna give it another chance. But personally, for me, I do that all the time. I'm always giving songs multiple chances because it can grow on you. And there are so many like components to a song. There are things you might not notice right away that you'll notice later on. So, you know, for me, there are times where there are songs where it wasn't a love on first listen, but yet some aspect of that song got me to listen to it again and again, and then from there on, I ended up falling in love with the song. And, so for me personally, the fact that on the first listen of Better Things, I didn't necessarily like love the song. I didn't think like that means like, oh, I can't listen to this. Like I gave it some more tries. I will say now, I like the song, but it was underwhelming because when I first heard the snippet that was on TikTok, I had higher expectations than what was achieved here. And I don't know, I thought the song would be more upbeat than it really was. Like, it's more chill, and there's nothing wrong with chill songs. There are chill songs that I like, but I like things to be more upbeat and have energy, and I feel like just when you expect something and you don't get it, it throws you off. Like, an example I can give is NMIXX's Oh Oh. We all had a certain expectation that wasn't achieved, so everyone was thrown off from the get-go, and that was, of course, Better Things is not as extreme as OO, but the point I'm making is that I judged the whole song based off of one snippet that was given days before the song came out, so therefore, like, I was just a little disappointed. Also, I just want to say, of course, this isn't important to a song necessarily, but I saw online people were talking about the teaser images for Better Things, and everyone kind of had this feeling that like it kind of gives like Kwangya vibes. Like I from that I was thinking maybe we'd get some more aespa lore, and clearly we did not. So like there was that. Of course, it doesn't really affect the song necessarily. It's just more so like the music video, I guess, but it was just like, that was another thing, kind of. I thought maybe we might go back to Kwangya, or it might be like a transition from real world back into Kwangya, but we didn't get that. So the music video, which I actually really loved this about it, the music video really gave mermaid vibes, but that doesn't really fit into the aespa lore. And for those who don't know, because this was mentioned in an SM town a couple years ago, if I remember correctly, it was January 1st, 2022, SM Town, I think, was the one where Isumon had explained that with SM music videos, there's this sound that plays at the end of some of them when the logo pops up. Every time you hear that sound, it is an indicator that that music video is a part of the SMCU, which is the SM Cultural Universe, which is the universe in which Real World and Kwangya exists. That sound did not play at the end of the Better Things music video, which tells us that Better Things is not a part of the SMCU, so it has nothing to do with aespa's lore. Once again, nothing wrong with that. Has really nothing to do with the song. It's just something that I pointed out, and it was just, I don't think it's necessarily a disappointment because it's not necessary. It's just more so that it was an expectation that just wasn't there, you know? A point of criticism I will give for Better Things is honestly, when I was listening to the song for the first time, I forgot that this was an English song. I am a native English speaker, so this is something I can actually like speak on because I'm part of the audience that this song was made for versus other K-pop songs, and I will tell you, it's kind of, you know, not a good thing if you make a song in English and people don't even realize it's English, like, let alone understand the song, that they literally don't even realize it's English. I will say this isn't the only aespa song this happened to me with. It also happened with Hold On Tight. I didn't realize that song was English at first. The only song that aespa did in English that I could tell it was English right away was Life's Too Short, and there are songs by other groups that were in English that I didn't realize was English at first, so I will say I don't know how much of a criticism towards aespa this really is. It could just be me being used to the songs being in Korean, that I just expected Korean and didn't even process in my head that it wasn't. Or it could just legitimately be, since they're Korean speakers and not English speakers, except for Giselle, that the way they pronounced the words wasn't like, I'm not sure how much it goes on either end. It might honestly be a combination of both, that I just expect Korean, but then also having people who don't speak English sing in English, it's not always going to come out perfect. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not gonna say there's anything wrong with aespa or any other group for that. It's just more so that, you know, I would expect an English song to sound like English. And maybe for other people this wasn't a problem. It could have just been me, but I'm just saying. And then now I will give my compliments. So I did end up starting to like the chill summer vibe of the song. Like I said, at first I wasn't really for it. I wanted more upbeat. But I actually kind of started to enjoy just, you know, the chillness of the song. But I will also say, like, as nice as the summer vibe is, the song should have come out earlier in the summer, personally. Because I feel like late in August wasn't the move for a summer song, just because most of the summer is over, and I will say I'm not aware with how school is in Korea, but in the English-speaking world, most people go back to school in August. So in fact, for a lot of people, even though August is still technically summer, it's more so like the end of summer. Like it feels like summer is over at this point. So I think they would have been benefited better had this song came out in July. And of course, there are so many things that came out in July. I'm not sure how they would have necessarily performed on charts or anything. Like, I'm not so sure it would have necessarily improved their placement on charts that much, but it's just more so that I think me as a fan, I would have preferred to be listening to this song a month ago. Like, at this point, I'm kind of not in the summery mood anymore. Literally in a few days, I go back to school, so it's like already, you know, summer's over, you know? Next, I heard a lot of people saying that this song does not sound like aespa, and that actually literally completely contrasted my thoughts on the song, because even though I didn't really care for it that much after the first listen, my immediate reaction was that this was the most aespa a summer song could be. Like, it gave summer, but it still gave aespa. And I wouldn't have thought that was possible, but it is. So, the bridge of the song, that part really gave the aespa vibe. It was definitely the most impressive and interesting part of the song. And while it's not exactly the same as with Next Level, the beat change made me think of Next Level. Like, that just, you know, it gave aespa. And I will say, I just think it's funny that people say it doesn't sound like aespa, because aespa does not have one sound. I'm sure most of the people saying it doesn't sound like aespa are people who are not Mize, because aespa has songs like Forever, ICU, Lucid Dream, Dreams Come True, Life's Too Short, Till We Meet Again, Thirsty. All those songs do not fit the aespa that people were expecting, but they're still aespa songs. And aespa songs aren't always experimental or hyperpop and don't need to always be that. And I will say, because people forget this, they are from SM. SM is known for vocals. They're going to have songs that are heavy on vocals, that rely on vocals and are made for vocals. So if they have like ballads, or they have stuff like what we got with Better Things, like that's going to happen here and there. And Better Things served. They had amazing vocals and Better Things that, you know, like, as much as I love their experimental music, it's what got me into them, and it's what really got me into K-pop, I will say, like, as a K-pop fan, not just as a casual listener. I will tell you that those songs are not meant for vocals. Those songs don't really highlight vocals that much. Sometimes they might, but it's very little, you know? And I love experimental music. Like, I am all for experimental music. It's probably my favorite thing right now. But I understand that sometimes aespa have got to do stuff to show their vocals, and I'm here for it. Also, lastly, just because I think this is a little ridiculous, actually it's a lot ridiculous, the people who are comparing this to NMIXX, because, and I will tell you, I'm a My and an Enser, so this is in no way to shade either aespa or NMIXX whatsoever. For the record, aespa did mix pop with Next Level. Beat drop. Before NMIXX even debuted. At the time, we didn't have the term mix pop, but they did it before NMIXX. And then, not only that, but aespa weren't the first. Girls' Generation did it with I Got a Boy.
Hey, yo, stop. Let me put it down another way.
And then also, there are songs within K-pop and then also out of K-pop that have mixed pop elements to them. So I don't think aespa doing mixed pop is in any way, if you can even call this mixed pop, is in any way copying NMIXX, especially when they did it before NMIXX. And then that's everything I got. Overall, I will say that Better Things was not that great of a song, and it definitely was underwhelming for me, but I still ended up liking the song, and I will listen to it. Like, you know, I may be a sucker for experimental music, but I love other types of music too. I'm very open to anything, and I ended up liking the song in the end, so yeah, that's about it.